to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a foolproof recipe for Thanksgiving. This is my roast honey orange turkey. First I'm going to start off with my basting liquid. First we need 3 sticks of butter, aka 0.75 of a pound. No, I don't mess around. It's the holidays. Just slide that off on into there. Next, what we're going to do is 4 cups of fresh squeezed orange juice. This is that orange part. I love this. The next is 1 cup of orange blossom honey. This comes from Florida. It's so delicious. It's a lot different than the honey that you get here in Colorado, just the clover. But if you want to use local organic honey, unfiltered honey, whatever, I suggest supporting your local beekeeper. So I'm just using a spatula right now to get all of that honey out. I forgot to spray this, but a nice trick for honey is to spray the inside of this beforehand with a little bit of cooking spray, and then the honey, molasses, syrup, whatever it is you're doing, literally falls right out. Anyhow, the honey's in there. Lastly, to add a little bit of more flavor, we're not going to be adding any herbs per se to this poor turkey. So what I'm doing is I'm infusing this basting liquid with some herbs, but I'm going to add them to a bouquet garni so that it don't really go into the liquid, but that the flavors really come through. Here is 0.25 of an ounce of fresh cut thyme. We've got 4 bay leaves here. And so to make a bouquet garni, this is cheesecloth. What we're going to do is we're essentially just going to make a tea bag. You just pull this all up, just like this. You got the herbs inside. I've got a pre-cut piece of twine, and you're just going to tie this off. Make sure those herbs can't come out, but that their natural essence and oils and flavor goes into this basting liquid. And there you go. Drop that on in there, and we're going to melt this butter and get it all incorporated together on the stove. So, okay, so this is a turkey. And so what you want to do is, I have bar mops readily available, and all I do is I just go ahead and pat this dry, because what we're going to do is we're going to basically pamper this turkey before we throw it into the oven. But don't tell him that. How I prep the turkey to begin with is I place the wings behind its head, just kind of like this, like it's relaxing at the beach, because it's about to get real hot for this poor turkey. Just go ahead and position those wings back just like that. See how that is? And so I'm still getting a little bit of liquid here, and so we want to just make sure that it is dry enough so that we can lather it up with butter. So now we've got our butter here on the turkey, and so now we are going to lather him up and massage him a little bit. You really want to get a good spread of the butter all over this turkey. This is going to add flavor, but really this is going to act as the glue to some salt, some pepper, and some orange zest we're going to add to this turkey before it goes into the oven. Get it all really good. Like I said, you're pampering this bird. We have 3 sticks in the base and half a stick all over the turkey. Mo butter, mo better. With another bar mop here, just wipe your hands off. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've measured out a little bit of kosher salt and a little bit of white pepper. I'm using white pepper in this recipe because you don't really want to see the pepper on the bird, but you really want that flavor to come through. So go ahead and pepper that bird, just ever so slightly. And the reason you're going to measure this out is because my hands have now been all over raw poultry, and now I've just put them in this. This is going to have to go straight to the dump. Now we're going to start with the kosher salt. And you're just going to liberally salt this poor bird all over the place. That looks about good. Go ahead and throw a little bit up in that cavity, that's just fine. And now, for more orange flavor, you're going to zest 2 fresh oranges all over the turkey. Now, notice why I put the butter on there. The zest is clinging now to the turkey, and those essential oils and everything are going to be trapped between the turkey flesh and the cheesecloth that I'm going to add in just a moment. So there you have it. Now what I typically do is I typically cut these oranges that I've zested and I shove them up in the cavity. I did not do stuffing in the bird this year because I did a gluten-free dressing. Look on my YouTube channel for my Thanksgiving rice dressing recipe. That's what I'm going to be serving this year. So to add more flavor, I'm stuffing these inside the cavity. Now it's time to truss our bird. You've got that all flavored up. You got your zest on there. You got your salt and pepper on there. Now truss it up. What I typically like to do when I truss a bird is I take baker's twine and I stretch it clear across my body. I'm 6 foot tall, so approximately this is a 6 foot long string. If you're 5'7", just go with 5'7". I'm going to have lots of extra. What I do is it's just kind of like tying off a shoe. You want to start here at the very end. You've got both of your ends together. So this is the very center of the string. You're going to put that behind the poor turkey. And you're going to capture the wings. You're going to cross it over the legs to the cavity here. And then, now that it's crossed, I go to the tips of the drumsticks, and you wrap that around there, and you bring it up like this. So all it is a series of crosses. So now you've got it crisscrossed in front of the underneath the breast, and around the ends of the turkey legs. Now with these, you're going to bring this down. And this is the tail of the poor turkey, and you're going to go underneath, crossing them again, and then you're just going to simply tie a bow like you were tying a shoe. And this is how to easily truss a turkey without a bunch of fuss. And you've got a tight little package there with the trussing, and that's all going to cook relatively evenly. That's the whole purpose to trussing a turkey, is to make sure you're kind of pulling it all together and making sure that it cooks evenly. Now I think we're ready to add that cheesecloth. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull our basting liquid now from the stove, allow it to cool a little bit, soak the cheesecloth that I've cut in this, and what we're going to do is we're going to drape this turkey in that soaked cheesecloth to keep the meat moist as it goes into a 450-degree oven for the first 30 minutes of the baking process. So now I've soaked this in the basting liquid. I've allowed it to cool, and so now what we're going to do is we're just going to drape this cheesecloth over this bird. You want to kind of tuck it in all around. This is the orange honey basting liquid that I've done. And so about this cheesecloth, what it is I went ahead and I've measured the length of this bird 4 times, and then I went ahead and cut the cheesecloth, and then opened up the cheesecloth and folded it back down. So this is roughly 8 layers of cheesecloth, and this cheesecloth is going to help keep the basting liquid on the turkey for a longer period of time during the cooking process. Rather than, if you were to bake this without the cheesecloth, the liquid would just run right off every time you basted it, and you're going to end up with a little bit of dry white meat. Who wants dry meat? Not me. By having this cheesecloth, that liquid is going to be on that meat for a longer period of time, creating a juicy, succulent bird that everyone's going to be like, wow, you're cooking Thanksgiving again next year. Which is fine with me because I love Thanksgiving. Bring on the turkey. And now this goes into an oven. So the turkey's in the oven. For the first 30 minutes, you're going to bake it at 450 degrees. Upon the first basting, after 30 minutes, you reduce your oven temperature to 350 degrees. You're going to want to cook a turkey for 15 minutes per pound. So you can do the math to see what you're going to need for your bird. Remember, When cooking turkey, if you want enough for leftovers after your big Thanksgiving feast, prepare 1.5 pounds per person. So this turkey is fully cooked and it's absolutely gorgeous. Remember that cheesecloth I told you you had to put on there to help keep the liquid on the birds? Well, now this turkey is complete. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this, and this is the beautiful turkey. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, who would not want some of that crispy skin? Delicious. So it's out of the oven now. What we're going to do is we're going to cut that trussing string. And sometimes it gets a little bit into the skin. So just be careful when you're removing it that you're not tearing any of that beautiful skin you covered the turkey to get. Inside, we've got those oranges. Just go ahead and pull those out. Those really were for flavor and for moisture. You're not going to want those after this. So go ahead and place your turkey on your serving platter. We no longer need this. And now it's time to almost present this. So while you're allowing this bird to rest, but prior to carving, just go ahead and garnish the tray with a little bit more of cut oranges and some fresh thyme leaves. This is probably my favorite part, is the decorating part of this. Just do that. Put them on both sides. A little bit more oranges here. I mean, you really don't have to do anything super elaborate, just whatever you want to do. I use the thyme and the oranges because on the serving platter, because that's technically what flavored this beautiful bird. And here you have it. My roast honey orange turkey. From my kitchen to yours. Happy Thanksgiving.